What's going on, guys? Welcome to another stream. Um, I've actually been pretty poorly today. I've had a really bad stomach after some possibly dodgy curry last night. Either that or I just got a bug. Either way, I'm not feeling super great. So if I have to run away at some point, well, we'll leave it at that. But we got to get some hands grinded out. It's been a tricky few sessions recently. After this King's Hand, I'll show you the recent sessions history, um, and you'll see what I mean. I've just been struggling to get out of a channel of sort of break even, and my luck seems to have not been going super well. Just took another put down with Ace King as well. That being said, nothing out of the ordinary, to be honest. This is poker. There's a lot of variance. So far this session, I played 129 hands and I'm up $16. Not quite sure how I've already played 129 hands. I've only really just got things going. But I just wanted to get everything set up first before I started the stream. Anyway, here's the recent stats, and you can see it's been last few sessions have been sort of small losing sessions, and yeah, just been struggling really. Lots of times where I'll get ahead a little bit and then sort of get knocked back down, running kings into aces, set over set, runner for someone I've got dominated with something like ace queen. I've got aces and they'll hit a flush or something like that. Loads of really frustrating positions and stuff to get into, but this is poker. This is what you sign up for. It's gonna happen. You just have to accept it. And one of the things I do on a consistent basis is really try and look at. I've just got queens over on table two, so I'll just show you that. I try and look at like the bigger picture a little bit. So like when you see a drawdown in the midst of it, it can start to feel a little bit wearing. Definitely can get tilted a lot easier as soon as you start a session. Get a bad hand, you could be instantly on tilt, even though you just had one marginally bad hand, which is obviously isn't great. You need to have like a really calm mindset, and it's something that I struggle with occasionally. But for the most part, looking at the stats, zooming out a little bit more helps. You start to realize that actually, you'll work it back. And one of the things that I look at as well, this is sort of indicator of like how your sort of your luck is doing, as it were, is this interesting chart that Poker Tracker has, where it basically looks at your luckiness bell curve. And as you can see, for the most part, for flushes and straights, I seem to get pretty unlucky, almost in the very unlucky area, whereas I'm just a little bit towards the lucky for flopping sets and winning with those. So yeah, obviously I'm not doing the best at the moment, but I'm doing pretty damn well considering I've been mostly unlucky. So that's good. Anyway, we'll go back to table two because we've got aces here against a pretty loosey goosey player. Hopefully, this session is a turning point. I think I'm going to fire up a little bit of music so that you guys don't have to just listen to me. So, okay, flop. It's pretty loud. Hopefully that's not too bad volume wise. Check that. if you saw that, I just had 3s into 2s. But it was a very small hand. It was basically check down. Neither of us felt like we were good. That was on table 1. Table 3, we don't have a table 3 yet. I need to set one up. I've got a table 4 slot. It must have had people sit out on it. So I'll try and set up a 4th table. Where's my lobby gone? Oh, we've got kings over on table 2. Table 2, we're getting a load of big hands. This guy must be starting to get a bit G'd off with us too, because we're just continually free betting him. Or at least calling him and then betting into him. I think he's going to get peed off. I think he's going to give me credit for it because I'm so aggressive with him, but I literally just keep getting hands. Oh, that's a cooler for him. That is a cooler. What a cooler. I mean, great for me. Let's see what my Whoop band is saying that my heart rate is doing. So just to give you an idea, my normal heart rate is about 52. When I'm sleeping, it's about 45. But so isolate that. Sorry, I just to show you table 1. It's the same guy, just so you know, and he's obviously tilted because we just ran him. Oh, please hold. Please win. He just ran his queens into our kings, and then he just ran his ace queen into my ace king. Oh, he is being brutalized. So I look at my Whoop band, see what my heart rate is. It's currently at 72. I mean, that is elevated because I'm ill at the moment, but it's definitely more elevated given the fact we've just been in 2 big-ish pots, which is kind of cool. We just had another purple take his place, sit down next to us, so that's good. And we're up to $93, just like that. It's been a good, strong start, that's for sure. I've just been 3-bet here, the ace-9 off against this guy. I do have a very loose image at the moment on this table since I sat down, so I'm probably not getting an awful lot of credit for stuff. But ace-9 it's like a bit like a queen-jack sort of hand where even when you hit, you're not quite sure how good you really are in the situation. So I think on this occasion I'm just going to lay that down. See a flop with the 10s. Checks into us. This is a relatively strong holding. We're in position. Probably have more queens in my range than he does on the big blind. We've got the 10 of hearts. I meant to bet half pot there. I ended up betting 35% of the pot, which wasn't what I meant to do. Okay, so we've got the 10-eye flush. I think we just check winning back here. Yeah, release. Yeah, that's a shame. He had us beat anyway, so saved us money if anything. And I ended up betting less accidentally on the turn, so I accidentally saved myself a load of money, which is good. I wonder if there's a way that I can stream my heart rate. It's quite hard to actually show that. 62. I think that would be quite a fun feature. I think we'll just float here with the 8s. It's pretty good flop rates. Small bet, all cool. Turns a 9. Just something about the way he free bet from the big blind and seems to be firing quite strong makes me feel like he's a little worried about the flush. I think I'm just going to give it up on this occasion. Isolate this trap. VPIP of 62. But still raises 26% of the time pre-flop, so it's pretty aggressive. I'm not seeing at the moment any real standout other tables that we can join that have got a lot of purple tagged, yellow tagged, orange tagged people, so just stick with these tables that we've currently got at the moment. This table here with this guy sitting out has got a little bit trickier with these two aggressive guys on my right. Obviously we have position on them, so that's good, but ideally you want to avoid being at the table with them if there is only one purple tag player. It looks like at the moment we've got the sort of best of the tables, to be honest. I'm seeing a lot of tables with a lot of green regs. I mean, Bruno is a reg, but he's just an aggressive one. Alright, well, I'm on the waiting list for another table, which looks decent, so we'll join that one when it becomes available. Cool here. It's a good flop for King Jack. I want to bet slightly larger in these sort of situations in a multiple way pot, just so that I can build the pot up nicely. It can make all the difference between being able to get all your chips all in and, you know, not. You know, hopefully he's got something like king, queen, ace, king. No, it's fine there. We've got another table opened up, which we will visit shortly. Let's have a look at table 1 here, where I've got 5s. Flop the set. We'll bet half pot into him. Oh, it's a shame. This is our new table. Just wait for that to wait for the big blind there. Pocket 4s in the big blind. Folded round. Got King Jack on table 2. Folded round. Table 1 we've got Ace King. This guy's raised it. We're going to make that 13 to play. Seeing as we have the third best hand in poker. Or was it the fourth? Third. Pretty sure. I should know that. Ace Jack over on table 2. Raise that up as well. Raise the 7s over here. We're going to put in a half pot size bet. Seems we have position. I currently have horrendous stomach cramps. God, I hate feeling ill. All I want to do is order a pizza and just sit there eating delightful, greasy, rubbish pizza. But I know that it will kill me. And tomorrow I've got a home cash game, and I'm going to be eating a lot of pizza and drinking a lot of beer and just having fun, just playing 10p, 20p, deep stacked home game, which should be fun. I always enjoy that. It's a good laugh. It's nice to catch up with your mates, have some banter, have some like good fast food, and yeah, just enjoy yourselves. Makes a change for me as well from grinding online. So far this month, we're averaging 5.7 big blinds per 100 hands, which is pretty steady and solid. Can't complain. A guy just flopped quads on this table. You know how the flop came down, king, king, king? Well, our man over here, Cocken, he had a king. King Jack, in fact. He must have been like, "What?" We're just under pot. Heart rate currently 65. It's pretty standard for an ill Matthew at the moment. I really want a massive hand that makes my heart rate go up. I've never really thought about my heart rate, to be honest, especially playing online where you don't have to worry about giving away any physical tells like shaking or, I don't know, seeing your throat pound or something like that. But it's quite an interesting one. I'm getting deposits coming in for people training for their first stack at the cash game. You can see them popping through on my phone. So I'm looking forward to that. I might film a few hands for the vlog as well. I currently have 1, 2, 3. There's probably a football match on in the World Cup that I should be watching right now, but I'm just not as into football these last few years as I have been before. I used to be up for European Cups and World Cups or for any internationals, to be honest. But I just cannot be bothered with it anymore. I guess I'll get more into it if we progress a bit further down. I'm just gonna get it all in here. He's doing this to me with a lot of stuff, to be honest. Aces is a bit brutal. Can I have a split one time? No. Wow, that was a bit of a brutal. Aces into kings. Been getting a lot of these things recently, these spots. I guess I can't complain. It's just poker. Let's update the stats, shall we? Check this back and pick up the nut flush draw. Heart rate still 65. Didn't move an inch from that all in. Ah, what a pity he didn't have ace king there. We can bet this now. That's pretty big. trying to think what he's calling me with there. Let's check it back. Yes. That'll win it. Nice hand. Okay, we'll leave Torrent's table now, I think. This queen though, put that up there. Also on table 3, we've got aces that we have 3-bet. Pocket 5s here under the gun. To be honest, it's on the brink for me, whether you play those. I was looking at my stats the other day and I'm not actually profitable until I start playing pocket 6s from under the gun. As in, actually at all, pre-flop, I'm just not profitable with anything less than pocket 6s, which is interesting. Not a super massive fan of having, I'm just going to flat that, of having this guy on my left. Open ended straight draw. I think it's fine to check that back position. Ah, there we go. Obviously there's a flush out there, so it's not ideal. We'll fold the 3-5. We've got pocket 3s over, pocket 2s over here. Just raise that up on the button. Alright, well we've fallen from grace back down to $22 for the session so far, but really, you know, it's not horrendous. It's still a good rate of, still a good win rate. And what can you do with those kings? Yeah, there's only one combo that's got me beat. There's only one hand that had me nailed. Raise up the ace-10. Oh, apparently I'm sat out on one of the tables. See about this in position. Check it out. Check it. Remember that. Not sure about this one. We'd have position on him, but I think he's doing that with a better range than me. Yeah, to be honest. From the small blind, 3-betting, it's quite strong when there's multiple people in the pot, I guess. I think I'm going to call down here on table 3 out of position, just because of who it is and where they are stack-wise. I want to put in a check raise to sort of find out where I'm at. So I could be behind here. I wish I had a spade. I just don't think he's calling the check raise, really, is he? Without the ace. Table 1, we just defended from the big blind, small blind raised. Flop to gut shot. I'll bet once and then give up. That's my cue. I'm feeling nasty. Aha. Kings over on table 2. No action. Just got to walk with a 7 deuce on another table. I reckon one day someone's going to say something in the chat and I'll actually have someone to talk to. Bank on it. How many hands have we done this session? 338. I'm just going to flat this because his range under the gun's probably quite strong. Let's pop. That's a good card to come. Hopefully he was strong. Let's put in a raise here. Heart rate went to 64. Up to my old tricks on table 2. I was wondering why my 3-bet stats were so low. It's because this guy was limped, so I'm isolating. I'm not 3-betting, I'm just raising. Making me look like a pussy. Wow. That's good if you've got a spade. And we have a good spade. What do you do here, guys? Do you bet because you're in position? Do you take another card, see if your hand improves? I bet 50% of the pot. See bets 100% of the time. Just FYI. You can see here. I mean, I'm not sure if my my heads-up display, my HUD is particularly self-explanatory for you guys or not, but in case it isn't, I'll take you through how I've got it set up. So at the top I've got this little notes thing where I just hover over it. It tells me a lot about their range. So like 3-bet blinds versus steals with king king. 3-bet range is kings to king 6 suited. 2 examples of that. Obviously in brackets it tells you the number of examples there are, so you want it to be a little bit like a bit of a higher number before you really get a true sense of like what their range actually is. But this is like automated notes taking, so it's really good. Then I've got obviously their name, just to make sure that the HUD is corresponding to the right person on the table. The yellow figure tells me how many hands they've played with me. Not necessarily heads up with me, but at a table where I've been sat down and playing. The VP is the VPIP, the voluntary put money in pot. That tells me basically how many hands they're getting involved in where they're not in the blinds, so that the number of times that they're volunteering to put money in. And that's obviously an important stat. It gives me a good idea of their aggression level, and also it helps me gauge their range a little bit. Like someone that's playing 70% of hands versus someone that's playing 15% of hands, I know that the person playing 15% of hands is going to be a lot tighter, probably picking more premium hands. I mean, I say probably, I mean definitely, but you know. We're going to raise this, obviously. We're also raising here. We're also going to be raising here. Nice little flurry of good hands. Okay, so just returning back to the HUD stats, we've got the VPIP. This is the pre-flop range. This is the percentage of times that they're raised. This is the percentage of the time pre-flop that they're raising. So you sort of look at that in relation to their VPIP, and it gives you a good sense of when they're getting involved. Are they limping a lot, or are they just are they raising like normal? And that'll tell you whether they're quite a passive player or whether they're just a normal, decent player. I'm going to have a little stab at this pot now, seeing as I raised it. You can take that down. And then aggression factor. That basically gives you a sense of how many times they're raising versus calling. So that's a handy just one-off stat to be able to look at what sort of player they are.
My entire baseline of who I am has changed.
Got 6-0 on table 1. It's not ideal for our actual hand. Although I don't mind putting in a small c-bet, seeing as it does hit our range pretty massively. But he's free betting. I don't know. sort of tie myself in knots over these sort of spots, to be honest with you. It's like a coin flip of what I do. And then for the rest of the HUD, I've broken them down into different streets. So we've got a few actions for the flop, and then we've got the turn and the river. I'm sort of looking at fewer things as I go along, just because at that stage I'm getting more information from the board itself and the action, and the hand specific stuff. Interesting hand here. We've got an open-ended straight draw with a 9 to the flush. Wow. Little value bet. So just to look at what those stats are specifically, on the flop we've got c-bet, the percentage of times that they c-bet. They'll put in a continuation bet. It's useful to have this because if someone fires a c-bet at you and they're out of position, you're in position on them. You want to know if it's because they're strong or if it's because they just always 100% fire a c-bet. So there's been several occasions in this session alone where I've sort of looked at their stats where they've c-bet into me. They've been like, well, yeah, you c-bet everything, so I can 3-bet you a lot more lightly. Or sorry, I can raise you a lot more lightly. And then we've got fold to a c-bet. So this tells me, how much they like to defend if I'm out of position, or even if they've checked to me and then I c-bet, how they react. And then I've got the stats of how many times that they choose to check raise, and how often they will fold to a check raise. So I've got more stats on the flop. I tend to still use my same impression of the player from their pre-flop stats and their overall stats, carried through to the turn and the river, that you start to sort of form an opinion of like where they're at based off how the hand's played out, what you know about them from the data, what your notes tell you that their range is capable of, and then when you get to the turn and the river, I've just got the same stats again: c-bet and fold to c-bet, c-bet and fold to c-bet. It sort of gives you an idea of how often they fire the turn and fire the river, and just fire off all the rounds, 3-barrel it. So that's basically how my HUD is set up. It's different for tournaments, it's different for full ring, but I like this for 6 max. Works pretty well. Ooh, kings. And then under the gun, Razor with a VPIP of 45. When they raise under the gun with a VPIP of 45, it means a lot less than if they've got a VPIP of 24, for example. Because their range isn't always super strong. It could just be anything that looks pretty. That could be all over him, to be honest. Folds to a c-bet 0% of the time, but he did this time. I suppose it was quite a big c-bet. Also, we only had 32 hands of them. I tend to not take too much notice of the stats if I've got fewer than 100 hands with them. But it can help if you're looking for a little bit of extra intel. You'd only be doing it yourself by observing people anyway if you didn't have it, so it's just like that, except more accurate. So if you're multi-tabling, you can process all of this information. Well, you don't have to process it, you just look at it when you need it, and it's there for you in front of you. And you can literally put any stats you want on here. So I use Poker Tracker for this, and I really recommend it. It's wicked, because you don't only get this wicked HUD, you get this awesome way of of displaying all of your hands and your stats and stuff. So you'll have this, and it keeps you up to date with what you're doing. You can dig into the data, see where your weaknesses are. Which is really helpful. You learn a lot about your game. You learn a lot about odds in general. Like what I was saying earlier, how I didn't seem to be winning playing pocket pairs until I got to sixes. So the bet's got to be really small. I've got to be in position, or I've got to be in the blinds, like basically completing from the small blind or something, to be playing sixes and under. I don't always stick to that, because sometimes you just want to, if you've not been playing for a while, you don't want to appear too defensive. You've got to get involved in a few hands. That's a good opportunity to get involved and try and flop a set. But it is interesting to know all this stuff, and it makes you sort of look into things a bit more and think, well, is this the case through a much bigger hand history, or is it just a case for the last 30,000 hands? It's been like the data isn't enough to give me a reliable answer. So we've been playing for an hour and 11. We're up $44. That's a rate of 19.85 big blinds per 100, which is great. I should have made this slightly higher, like 4 or 5, seeing as he limped, but I'll possibly save myself some money here. Ooh. That's a nice hand. That's annoying. It's cold. I think I'm going to put our heating on. It's starting to get chilly. Either that, or I'm starting to get a temperature again, and I need more paracetamol. It could be either. I don't feel like being ill has affected my focus, though. I feel relatively sort of on the ball. I think the fact that I'm streaming helps. It's keeping me sort of concentrating on each hand and the positions and just sort of talking through my game. It's always good. It's at the flush draw here. Check it back. I don't think we can win by doing anything but betting. Here we go. Raise up the 9-10 of hearts. A free bet by him. I quite like the 9-10 to see a flop from position at least. My mates are just talking in their WhatsApp chat group about how they're off to watch some YouTube tutorials about how to play home games and like optimal strategy against loose players or fish. And it's making me laugh because one of the guys just mentioned how last time he turned up, and I saw that he had like a hand chart on his phone that he was like referencing as he was playing, but I recognised where it was from, one of the books that I'd read, and I still remember it. So I told him that now I had a really good idea of what his range was, because he's just basically looking at a hand chart, which I knew off by heart, which is pretty funny. So he just continued to put his hand chart away and not play it. Oh dear. Always good. I think I've actually won here with the ace 10. I think he's got jack 9 of spades. Ooh, no. Okay, so one of our tables is just closed. Let's try and jump into another table that looks good. Almost missed my queens there whilst I was opening up another table. Get 3-bet with the queens. He's pretty deep stacked. I think we'll call. Heart rate 68, slightly higher. I think we'll keep it around 20, 25. We'll sit out the next hand, I think, on that table now that everyone's leaving. Actually, yeah. Rejoin again in a second if more people join. Crap. Fold and raise. So we need another table again. I think the regulars are cannibalizing the fish and they don't like it. Oh my god, there's a super mega fish on several tables. Join the waiting list. Join the waiting list. Is he on any other tables? Join the waiting list. I'm not going to call with the 4s there. Okay. Table that we've just joined isn't the one with the super mega fish on it. That's unfortunate. In fact, I'm just going to sit out of that table. Okay, well, we're on the waiting list for some good tables now. And here he is. So the table that we want to now leave is probably Ida. Got a bit of action here. No. Just going to defend here with the queen 4. Not much happening there though. Unfortunately, our super mega fish has just sat out and left. That's frustrating. I left a relatively good table for that guy. Oh, great. Now I just get 2 aggressive players sat down right next to me. Ace-9 in the cutoff. Table 4, we've picked up 8s. I think seeing as he only 3 bets 5% of the time, I'll probably let that go. His 3-bet range from the small blinds probably got me crushed. Twos under the gun, I'm just going to fold that. Not had any big hands for a while, have we? We're out of that table now. We're still... Oh, we're not on the waiting list anymore. That guy left. Come on, stars. Give me some good hands. Give me something to work with. Well, frustrating that we were up quite a lot more earlier and then ran our kings into aces, but that happens. Defending here from the big blind, we get an 8. Let's check that back now. Queen 9. Oops. We'll defend. Where is this up? Can check that back. Now we've got a 4th table opened up. There's our new table. Kings. And this guy's short stacked as well. So let's give him a lovely purple glow, shall we? Well, that's horrible if he's hit a 10. But he didn't, he says a 5. Bloody hell, for a second there I thought the chips had gone over to him and I'd missed something. It's crazy. That's why you play with the purples. Tagged people. People. Literally every time I join the table with that guy, he leaves, and then it's a mass exodus because when he leaves, everyone leaves. Myself included. It just goes to show you how much people just target these like weak tables, weak players, because it's such an edge. Like they just stack off so light. There's just no point sitting there with loads of people that are playing solid strategy when you could be sitting next to people who are just playing for a bit of a laugh. Let's leave. Oh, that's annoying. The animation came up telling me that it was a free table. I went to click it and left one table. It told me that it was no longer available. It's very annoying. Anyway, we're going to 3-bet this guy. Because we want to. Because we want to. I feel like this music's fine, but I just want something more interesting to listen to. I'm gonna have a look. I think it's quite good focus music, isn't it? See what else is out there. I would take requests, but no one's watching, so and we'll check call here. I think at this point I can value bet. Tens. Make it 4x to go. We've got queens down here. It's not a card you want to see on that flop. Nevertheless, we'll bet at it. In position. Generally, you get very fit and fold type poker from purple tag players. Although he is 43% VPIP. So they don't just float you with nothing often, but he's quite aggressive, so maybe he does. 450. Sorry, 5 big blinds. Just let it go. Would you have called? On this table we've just flopped 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I wish I didn't feel ill. I could really murder a pizza right now. What is this cruel illness where you still want food even though you feel ill? That's just not right. It's brutal. We've got ace king. And a limper. Make it 5 to go. We've also got queens over here. Let's raise that up standard amount. This guy calls. Hey, I want that flop on the other board. We'll play this passively. The queens, everyone folded. No action, unfortunately. Shame we don't have a spade here. But that's a good card. I might check call in case he has a queen or he has a flush somehow. But also I think it might be the only way he bets if I think he would fold otherwise anyway. So what did he have? Nines. That's fair enough. I feel like if I bet, I don't get any value from a hand that's worse because he'll just fold. And at least it's pot control if he does have a hand that's better. If that makes sense. I think on this top table up here now, I'm just going to sit out. It's just become a little bit short-handed and reg heavy. I'll leave that. Well, we're up $71, which is good. It's a rate of 22 big blinds per 100, so certainly can't complain. Ooh, Queen of Clubs, please. That'd be a great next card. Queen of Clubs, go! Oof, Ace of Clubs. Not going to win by checking. Got tens here. Pretty horrific flop for tens. Let's put a small bet in. At least we've picked up an open-ended straight draw now. We can check it back though, and that's just horrendous. I just don't think any part of that we're winning. Oh, look who's just joined. A yellow tagger. Is he going to stay here, though? Oh, please stay here. The only thing that would have been slightly better is if he'd joined on my right-hand side. So I positioned on him. And he's got a full stack as well. Lovely. That's the state of play for the month. What's the state of play for this session so far? Grinding our way back to where we were after a really exciting start. Average all-in equity of 69.4. 21.11 big blinds per 100. Folding that. All in and a call over on table 1. Come on, call. Let's get some action going. Calls. Great call. His only out would have made him lose. His only he'd hit the queen, he'd have been dead. Oh, you limp dick motherfucker. Oh. Okay. I wasn't expecting that. Limps and then fucking shoves it all in. Well, thanks for the heads up that you have a hand. Could have probably got more out of me. I'm just sparking it off here with queen high. Need a 10 or a spade. Fire another barrel just to keep the pressure on. Looking at his stats, I'm not quite sure why he's got a yellow tag. I wonder if it's a mistake. Maybe he's a super passive loose player. Seems sort of quite normal stats to me. He's not a standard yellow tag, that's for sure. Oh, not old Limpy McGee again. This fucking limp dick. Let's see if he raises again. Is he a limp call 5xer? Interesting. He's a tricky limper, isn't he? what he is. He's a tricky little limper. Sorry, wasn't paying attention. But we've got some different music on now. I mean, this table isn't much fun anymore, but I'm quite deep, so it gives me a good opportunity to stack someone big time. Oh, that guy went the donk. Interesting. I remember this. This guy like literally shoved it all in with like nothing. Total air. Which is fine. It doesn't mean he's a bad player. Everyone gets caught bluffing. But it's just like, need to be aware that he is capable of the big bluffs. Alright, need some more tables. I'm getting hungry though. Maybe I should try eating some toast. Soup and toast is what's supposed to be good when you've got a bad stomach, right? Oh, all the tables are just very rubbish. I've joined a couple of waiting lists. We're in on one straight away. One of the guys is really deep, which is quite crazy because normally they will have left by the time they get this many chips. Anyway, it's good for me, I guess.
I'm so happy cause you are gone. You are gone, it makes me happy. For so long I thought this day would never come when I could wave and say goodbye. I'm so happy, do you know why? Do you know what makes me happy? A whole day is going by without a single thought of you, and I can smile cause you're not near. La 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 la.
Gonna check this back.
I'm so happy 'cause you're not here.
I'm building up a pretty good idea of this guy now. Plays basically half the hands. He's very loose.
I'm so happy and that ain't wrong.
C-bet's 100% of the time on the flop. Half the time on the turn. Don't have any data for him on the river. Raised from the cutoff. 3-bet from me in the big blind. Holds to me. King 8, happy to raise that. Suited. Suited and booted. Excuse me. 3-bet from the big blind and I'll let that go. King deuce. Queen jack. Folded the king deuce because this guy raised.
I've been waiting for so long. I thought this day would never come when I could wave and say goodbye.
Walk with the queen jack. Oh, this guy is a purple. Three bets 1% of the time for 169 hands. So I think we can be fairly sure that he's not fucking about there. And as much as I do like Queen 4 suited, especially clubs. Oh, we've got our fourth table open up. Decent. Been a bit card dead, haven't we? We're going to defend here. This chap's not stealing a disproportionate amount of time, so we'll put in a small bet from position just to see how that goes down. If he floats, probably just give up. So it's interesting. So he calls a normal raise from the blinds with King 7 suited, 6-4 suited. So he's got a slightly wider range, but he generally is playing a tight aggressive strategy with premium hands for the most part. He's a solid player. Pocket sixes. Hopefully my HUD isn't too distracting for you guys. I kind of think that it's a useful part of the stream, really. Obviously that's a really good flop for us, so we're going to bet pot. We'll just call on table 2 with the 5s. We'll raise the ace-8 that you just saw on that table. That's a horrendous flop for 5s. Especially out of position. Got an interesting hand brewing here. It's the full house. Just gotta walk with the king through. This guy's quite tight. So free bet. Excuse me. This guy raised 0 times. Oh, so he only had 6 hands for him. Hmm. We're upping the tempo a bit. Let's have a look at the session flow so far. So it's quite demoralising, isn't it, when you see that you're up to 95 after just 140 hands. But we've very steadily, in a very controlled way, ground our way back. Grinded our way back up. Ground our way back up. Grinded. I don't know, but we worked our way back up. um, so yeah, that's solid. It's a solid session for sure. I like to do the occasional min raise from under the gun, just because it seems to get so respected when you've got aces, kings, queens, and you have to like do that. You never get any action, so it's good to play a few hands under the gun where people start to just stop giving you as much credit for it after a while. Because then when you do have a monster, and you've obviously got to play it, hopefully you'll get a bit more action. People not giving you as much respect.
I'm so happy 'cause you are gone. You are gone, it makes me happy. I've been waiting for so long, I thought this day would never come when I could wave and say goodbye. I'm so happy, do you know why? Do you know what makes me happy? A whole day is going by without a single thought of you, and I can smile 'cause you're not near. La 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 la. La 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 la.
Yeah, the Queen 10. We're just flat there. We defended from the big blind.
I'm so happy 'cause you're not here. You're not here, it makes me happy. Finally you disappeared, don't wanna know where you were going, but you should stay where you belong.
Oh wow, he folded the king to me. That's why he's got a blue knit tag. Fair play though. I mean, I could have had a way better king than him. Gotta respect people like that. Let's update the stats. Where are we at? Over 100! Yay! I've not seen that number for a while on a session. Check cooldown here. Put in a half pot bet. At that point, I've just got to bend over and take it, I think. Yeah. You know that. So a bit of Eagle Eye Cherry. King 10. Fold that under the gun. Fold this as well. How many hands have we played? Are we almost at 1,000? Not quite. I think I might play up to 1,000 hands in this session. Potentially. I do need some food though. So we'll just see. We'll see how the tables pan out. Face 4 under the gun. Fold that. Again, this table's... Oh, I suppose this guy's a purple tag. It's not too bad. Yeah, a tight player and two purple. Also got a purple tag here. I wouldn't have said we've got 2 out of line in many spots in the session. It's been pretty fit or fold, standard play, a few squeezes here or there, but nothing too mental. Not run any huge bluffs. Oh, there we go. Got some aces. We got some aces. Come on, give me some action. Boring bastard. Oh. So boring. Kind of. Oh, this is a great song. Hmm. Sevens. We've got oh, that's a good flop. Oh wow, he called. Okay. Oh, I was really hoping he had a good king there. Shame. All right, we'll get up to 1,000 hands and then we'll call it a day. Again, raising under the gun because you get that mass exodus effect of people being like, "Oh my god, his range is only aces! Oh my lord!" I don't think my heart rate's gone above 70 all evening. It's been a very just standard session, I guess. I'm not sure if that's a good thing with poker, really. It'd certainly be a good thing with trading, that you basically are totally neutral and calm. It's almost like you're doing something wrong in poker if you're not getting into some weird spots. I don't know. Maybe that's not true. This guy is super aggressive. Just want to see a bit more of him first before I start playing with him, though. Yeah, he's an action character. This guy. This guy's playing a lot of hands. He's almost all in. I sort of want to isolate this guy a bit. And then get him all in because I feel like I'm probably ahead a lot of the time. We didn't go for that. Calls. I feel like I'm good here most of the time with this jack. Ah, so brutal. I'm worried that if I check it back, I'll have lost to a better hand. first time I'm sort of bluffing with what's possibly the best hand, but it's the first time I've done something that's actually. Well, I didn't make my heart rate go up, but it's actually felt like it could go wrong, just because he's so tight, and if he's got a diamond in his hand, he's calling. So this is a thing that's happening. I think we've got a split pot here, don't we? Maybe not. No snap call. Interesting. Very interesting. Strange. That's really crazy. Maybe he just had like kings, queens. Yeah, I'm probably giving him too much credit. I'm not sure. I really don't know what he had there that he continued with on that board. Time for a squeeze on table one. Be back here as well. I'm going to sit out of this table in a bit. I think I'm going to need to go and get some food, to be honest. I'm pretty hungry, so play out this hand. We're going to 4-bet him. See what we can get out of his hand. It's not the card we wanted to see, is it? Nevertheless, we'll float it. It's a difficult spot, this. He's a very tight player. I just think he's given up if he's got if he's not got it. You know, if he were like a purple tag player or something, then I'd be tempted to continue with it. Maybe I should have 4-bet pre-flop. It's my own fault. Hard to know. Anyway, could have saved myself a load of money. Could have been super strong. Call it. I think I might have to fold this. I think he's possibly was 3-betting me with the ace king. That's frustrating as well. Well, if I can stack myself about 100 times in these last few hands, I think I'm getting hungry. I'm going to call it a day. So with that, I will sit out on the big blind of all of the tables, next big blind on all the tables. Sit out, cash gains on the next 4, on the next big blind. There we go. It's been a solid session. We've grinded away nicely. Let me know if you thought it was better having the music to accompany the stream. It's been better for me, I think. I'll check all that. Little value bet. Oh, we've got one more table still open. Oh, no, apparently we're already out on that one. So yeah, that concludes it. Let's refresh and see where we are with the stats. $94. Let's have a look at the session overall. I'm going to turn the music off whilst we have a look at these. So let's have a look at the session chart. Bit of a stacking at the end there, but that's okay. I feel like I'm starting to lose my concentration a little bit. I'm getting pretty hungry, not feeling too great, but I'm proud of the fact that we've rallied from that big loss after we had our big gain. Yeah, and it looks like a solid session that. So happy with that. And it's nice to have ended my dire run of like bad sessions, because as you can see down here at the bottom, I'd had a few losing sessions there. Be nice to get back to my old winning ways. Hopefully this is it. Hopefully this is the turning point for us. Anyway, yeah, thank you very much again for watching. I appreciate it. And onwards and upwards. I'll catch you in the next stream, guys. Peace out. Bye.